Hear ye, gather round for your 2022 Young Kings Wrestling Year End Awards featuring the JDF Memorial Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on your favorite podcast streaming. Quite a time to mess up the intro, huh? On the award show? On the award show, though?
Hey,
let me try that again. As always, you can find us on most platforms streaming your favorite podcast episodes, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music, among others. If you're listening on iTunes, leave us a review of the 5-star kind. Links to all the platforms and the merchandise available only at ykwrestling.com. Now, as always, I am Thespian TC Fontaine, and I'm joined by my co-host. What do we do today?
Well, since I said this one was going to be a little bit mid, I'm going to go with the one and only Rick Finkel.
Yeah, I love it. That's fire. That was a good Fink impression, too.
I tried, man.
That was pretty good.
It's a war show.
I thought I did the impressions around here.
You know, I figure, we doing the awards, got a little dressed up for it.
Got the suit.
It felt right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was thinking I was gonna like, should I break my suit out? But then like I've had this sitting on the shelf for like 4 weeks now, or whenever he passed away is when I ordered the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I found out about it, let me get a Tommy shirt, man. Let me get a White Ranger, green. I don't wear green because I don't wear green. But, so I couldn't get the Green Ranger shirt. So I was like, let me get the White Ranger shirt.
So just ignore this then. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, don't ignore it. That's fresh.
It's dark. It's dark, but it's
yeah. So I had to come in here on my Lupe Fiasco, on my gold watch and my gold chain, and coming here with the white and the gold. Shout out to Tommy Oliver, man.
Big shout.
And we here for our awards. We've been hyping it up. Y'all know some of the winners already. But
yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
But we here, man. And I want to thank y'all for joining us. And without further ado, we are going to introduce our first award for this evening. The Mr. Keep a Check Award, aka the Kevin Nash Trophy, because Kevin Nash knows how to keep a check. Yeah, yes, let's get it. First nominee, of course, Kevin Nash, because
himself.
We're giving out the first Kevin Nash Trophy. We got to nominate the namesake, man. He's the OG Mr. Keep a Check. This dude was one of the first defectees over to WCW. It was like Luger and it was like Macho, Hogan, and then like when Scott Hall and Nash came over, that just shifted the tide, because these dudes just over there at the click, like, you know what I'm saying? It was just at WrestleMania, literally like 2 months before that. So entered the podcast and cannabis spaces here in 2022. So he's keeping those checks coming, even though he's not wrestling or involved in a wrestling. I think the last time he made an appearance, anything wrestling related, was GCW like last year. And I don't remember when exactly last year. All I know is he hasn't made a wrestling appearance that I'm aware of in 2022. Unless I'm wrong. He's getting those checks elsewhere. Great podcast. Amazing weed commercial.
That was fire.
Yeah, this dude just hopped out the truck like Big Worm. That's how I know Kevin Nash is down, because he definitely got inspired off Big Worm for that commercial.
Had to.
Kevin Nash down for real.
Yeah.
It's from Detroit.
I mean, bruh. FUBU on wrestling TV.
Multiple times. He's one of the first people to wear FUBU on TV.
Yeah.
Like
So
one of the first people to wear FUBU, not just like wrestlers, just people.
yeah. So he been knowing what's up.
Kevin Nash and the Wance brothers, the only people I know was wearing FUBU on TV back then.
Damn. Yeah, pretty much.
Like 95, 96. Shout out to Kevin Nash. Next
Mm-hmm.
nominee, Ric Flair. Regardless of how you feel about Ric Flair, he know how to keep a check coming still.
Always.
Out of obligation, but nonetheless, he still know how to keep a check coming.
Mm-hmm.
He literally has to keep checks coming if he wants to, be
Not
able to.
going to debt.
Yeah. He had his third, was it his third or fourth final match in wrestling this year?
Yeah.
Even died during it, as we all predicted.
Yep.
Like literally died during the match. Something happened. He
Resuscitated
got knocked
somewhere in
out
the middle.
at least.
Yeah.
He also became a pothead this year. Like 77 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Getting
little
that
too
cannabis
old
money.
to. Yeah, he entered the spaces too. You're a little too old to become a pothead at this point.
Yeah.
Like I thought Lil Duval was bad for doing it at 40. Ric Flair did it at like 76.
I mean, Lil Duval you can excuse because it's like low key. He was probably already doing it. And he just knew how to get paid now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Good lord.
Yeah, Ric Flair keeping them checks coming. New card chill spots every month too.
Oh man, they tried to shut it down, but
They did.
I seen
And
a few pop up again.
some new ones came out like a couple months back. So
Yep.
keeping them checks coming. Next up, Gallows and Anderson. They wouldn't have won it last year if this was an award last year because they were on AEW and Impact every single week, keeping them checks coming. Now they in New Japan, Impact, and WWE this year. Carl still keeping them New Japan checks coming. He's going to get a New Japan check in 2023. They were the Impact earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, too. Shout out to them.
Students
CM
of the
Punk.
game.
Oh yeah, definitely. They went to the Kevin Nash school.
Exceptional students.
Honor roll, Dean's List every year.
Facts.
CM Punk, he keep checks coming. Still, he hasn't been around since Labor Day weekend, and I believe he's still getting paid.
Oh yeah,
as per the terms of his contract. So I know this guy got a pretty nice looking contract, and if I could ever see it, I would love to see it and read it and see what perks he got in there. I know he got some good perks. That's why he's nominated.
Not to mention he'll making some side gigs, doing commentary for MMA
Yeah.
fights, which he has no expertise in. So I don't know how we keep doing this.
He has expertise. He has 2 fights.
He got 2 ass whoopings.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, he's more of an expert than me just by doing that. Like,
oh yeah, I guess.
Shout out to CM Punk. The only time you hear those words say here is when you're nominated.
If there's one thing he don't fail to do is entertain, so I will give him
a check.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Let's before we move on to the next nominee, I gotta run past some check getting. I gotta run past CM Punk's check getting resume. All right. After WWE. He was still getting paid by WWE he left in the end of January, early February.
Yep.
And all the way to like July, I want to say it was. Got checks the whole time. Never showed up to work. Still getting, pretty sure he was still getting like, revenue from merch and all that. Check getter.
Yeah.
He leaves. Of course, we know about the UFC. He got 2 fight checks from them. Plus any other residuals. I believe he got a check from Marvel. He wrote for
he was writing, he was
Marvel
writing
comic.
Yep.
He did some movies during that time. Backstage. The show on
Fox check.
And of course AEW. So he's Mr. Get a Check of the decade, probably of the last decade.
Yeah, gotta give it to him.
Yeah.
Putting in that work.
One thing I can feel a way about you wherever else, but when it comes to getting checks, I gotta respect it.
Yeah, ain't no question about it, man. He's consistent in getting his paper.
Yeah, he might be the winner. He might be the winner, possibly. Next up, Mr. William Regal, Mr. William Bloody Regal. uh, director of talent development and head of global recruiting in WWE. But he was released like the first week of the year.
Crazy.
But I don't know the provisions of that contract. I'm pretty sure he was still getting paid like severance or something for a while.
Had
Uh,
to be.
Shortly after that, signed to AEW as an on-screen manager.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about AEW, if you were in WWE and you were a big part of WWE, you're gonna get a check. Because even if you weren't a big part of WWE, you getting a nice little check.
Hell yeah.
I know Keith Lee getting paid. I know Swerve getting paid.
Yeah, man. Come on now.
Like,
It was,
so imagine William Regal compared to them.
right.
Big check getter. Uh, he made a late push as a nominee here in the last month or so, as he got signed back to WWE while still being signed to AEW as an
Yep.
on-screen character. So
We'll see him again in the early
double
weeks of
checks.
2023.
Yeah, double checks possibly here if I were to be a betting man. I am no longer. Uh, that's not the time or place. But yeah,
Facts.
Mr. William Regal. And then our last nominee for Mr. Get a Check, J E double F, J A double R E double T. Ain't he great? Uh, Let me just run down the year Mr. Jeff Jarrett had.
Oh
Not just, I
yes.
mean, like might be Mr. Career Get a Check after Kevin Nash, but the
Right.
year, the year alone. He worked 3 GCW events back in January. He started with their New Year's Day show, and he had a match at their event, The World, on GCW 3 weeks later. Got a check from them.
Yep.
2 months later, he was a guest referee at the NWA Crockett Cup. What? The NWA Crockett Cup event in March for the NWA World Championship. Matt Cardona versus Nick Aldis. That's 2 checks, 2 different companies. And then he appeared in WWE as well. He made a little small mini appearance back in January on SmackDown backstage. It was just minor. However, a few months after that, I believe in May, he was hired as the senior VP of live events for WWE. So
Yep.
he getting an executive check on top of that,
Boy.
as well as an on-screen check because he was a guest referee for the Usos versus the Street Profits at SummerSlam in his hometown in Nashville, Cashville. Shout out to Young Buck. That was in July. So from January to July, crazy checks from WWE. He was left. They say he was released, possibly, but publicly they just say he left his position a few weeks after SummerSlam.
Didn't he
However,
work the Didn't he work the Ric Flair match the same weekend at
yes,
SummerSlam
it
too?
was. Yes, just about to get on that. SummerSlam
Yeah.
weekend as well. The very next night, after being a guest referee, he worked the match in Nashville. Ric Flair's last match for Jim Crockett Promotion. So if you're counting, that's GCW, that's NWA, that's the WWE, and that's Jim Crockett Promotions. It's owned by Ric Flair's son-in-law, Mr. Conrad. It's 4 promotions he got paid from this year. But it don't stop there.
I'm about to say we
Currently, as of November 2nd, he is signed to AEW, making appearances on AEW as well. I think he wrestled recently at like Full Gear, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was tagging with Jay Lethal again.
Yeah. So he tagged Jay Lethal at Ric Flair's last match, tagged with Jay Lethal at Full Gear a few months later. So from January 1st to November 2nd, that is 5 promotions that Jeff Jarrett has been paid for or from rather in 11 months. So I think it's only safe to assume that our Mr. Get a Check for 2022, none other than Mr. JEFF, JARRET. Ain't I great? Congratulations, sir. He might be the first TNA related individual to win something significant here.
Probably. That's probably gonna be the highest accolade we give to anybody from the promotion, which I mean is fair because he kind of started it up. So
He did.
that's another Mr. Get a Check because how they still survived after all the last
Oh,
couple of decades is beyond me.
honorary Mr. Get a Check, Impact Wrestling.
Right.
Y'all find a way, like a cockroach. Just find a way.
Mm-mm.
Next up, our player hater of the year
Oof.
for the biggest
Mm-hmm.
hater.
Mm-hmm.
Hate, 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 hate. Do I have the player hater soundbite on here?
Oh, we need that.
If I don't, it'll make his debut in
Hey,
2023.
hey, 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 hey.
I don't. I don't.
Hey, player haters ball.
I got y'all though. 2023, I got y'all. We're gonna have a hater segment.
Mm. It's warranted. It's
Yeah,
highly warranted.
big facts. We're gonna have a segment in 2023 where we just hate on something.
Oh, I'm for that. I'm
Just
all
player
for
hating,
that.
no reason. Player hater of the
Yeah.
year. Who are our nominees? We got the five-time WCW champion and two-time Hall of Famer, Booker T. Sucker.
Mm.
I'm getting you, Book. I'm getting you.
Oh, you got about 5 more years, dog.
He said 20.
20. Oh,
He
hell
told
no.
me 20.
Oh, you tripping.
You got about 20 more years, dog. He did the laugh too.
Tripping.
He literally did the laugh too. I'm not lying to you.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
that Orlando water must have turned him into a hater, man, because he been on Orlando, what, 3 months?
I don't even think it's been that long. It might be like 2 3/4, 2.5.
Oh, man. He turned into a bigger hater every week on commentary and put on
Crazy.
a triple double hating display at was it Deadline during the
Yeah.
tag team
Oh,
championship
yeah.
match. Yeah,
Heavily.
yeah, something crazy. Next up, Mackenzie Mitchell, backstage interviewer in NXT. The last couple weeks, remember Linsanity?
I do.
She been on a Linsanity run the last like 3-4 weeks on NXT, hating on my guy Javier and
Oh, man.
like 50-point triple doubles in the hater department. I had to put
Damn.
her on the nominees. I had to do it. I had to do
It's
it.
a triple doubles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next
man.
up, I think this is the Giannis Antetokounmpo of haters. Caleb Braxton, the
Oh, yeah.
resident backstage hater. I think,
Yeah.
just like Giannis is going to be MVP candidate every year, Caleb Braxton is a hater candidate every year here at Young Kings
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling. Got to put her on here. Kevin Patrick. If Caleb Braxton is Giannis, Kevin Patrick is Anthony Davis. Similar veins. He has the potential to be a hater winner every single year. I got to give it to him. Next up, if Caleb Braxton is Giannis and Kevin Patrick is Anthony Davis, this gentleman, this brother, is LeBron James.
I knew
Corey Graves.
I'm like, if it's it has to be. He got to be Bron, no question.
Corey Graves. He could win hater of the year every single year.
Oh man, the
He's been hater of the year for the longest.
talking, slick ass, hating some bitch in backstage commentary, whatever. It's terrible.
He is such a hater on commentary. He gets people legitimately jealous. People go on their podcasts, they go on their undisputed and first take platforms and talk about Corey Graves all day long.
Yeah,
He's LeBron James.
yeah, man.
Got to do it. Next up, hater of the year. This is one of your picks. I don't know the criteria, but Tony Schiavone. Or was it one of my picks? It was somebody pick. Tony
Well, I
Schiavone. He
mean,
be on it. He be at the desk hating sometimes too.
well, realistically,
With
this is
that little earring in his ear.
yeah, realistically, this is overdue. This is like back pay at this point because dude's
Oh, he
been a
was a
hater
hater
for.
in 1999.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like ever since the almost Susan
Gotta put
White
some butts in seats.
phenomenon began, he been a professional player hater, firmly in the corner of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it never stops. It just goes on and continues regularly. If you pay attention to Dynamite, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You see this guy has a mic in his hand, some hating ass comments are gonna come out of his mouth on a regular
Yeah.
basis. Never
Slick
fails.
talker,
Yeah.
knowing he ain't gonna take a bump, which
Mm-mm.
is the case of literally everybody on this list besides Booker T. None of them are gonna take a bump,
No.
so they feel more comfortable being a hater.
Mm.
It's crazy to me.
Indeed.
Uh, well, we know about somebody's taking bumps on this list.
Speaking of,
Tony Khan,
oh
Mr. Hater.
man,
You might be on some big hating time.
this is easy. Like
Yeah.
we all have calendars. We all look at the calendars, and we all know when Labor Day weekend is.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan is apparently the only person who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know, so he want to hate because WWE books their calendars months, years in advance, and they got a date that he was looking at and trying to secure for one of his events. You
And
got to
Tony
be
Khan on this list, not because he was hating on that. He on this list because he was hating for some reason out of the blue, hating on Jim Crockett. What Jim Crockett do to you, bro?
yeah, yeah. I don't.
I got a lot of
I don't
more money than
understand
Jim
that.
Crockett. Like, damn, you just called Jim Crockett broke for no reason, son. What'd he do to you?
Is you about trying to be the billionaire, or is you trying to be about the wrestling promoter? Because in terms of wrestling promotion, you don't got shit on Jim Crockett. You don't
Yeah.
hold the candle.
But he
In
got a
terms
whole
of
lot more money than him, though. He ain't gonna take this fucking shit.
his daddy got the money.
Yeah, that's
His
true.
daddy got the money. So I don't even know why he's flexing like that. He got to stop it.
So, our winner. Did we even decide on the winner on this one?
Uh, I I think we said. Hold on. Let me check this here. I believe it was Mackenzie Mitchell.
Mackenzie Mitchell, our hater of the year, made a late push, made some good hating push. It was like, whoa, Derrick Rose for the haters. Who would have seen it coming?
Mm-mm-mm.
Wasn't even on our radar
No,
like 2 months ago.
that sneak
Definitely
dissing
thought
gets
Tony
you every
Khan had
time.
it. Oh, yeah. Sneak dissing is easy. It's
Mm.
easy spam.
And
Easy.
every backstage interviewer does it. So I think this is
They do.
systemic. So going into 2023, I think we'll be launching an investigation into the backstage production in terms of
I already told you what. I already told you.
like
They can't take bumps. They're not trained. They feel safer
listen,
knowing that these superstars and these wrestlers in these contracts, they said you cannot put your hands on any untrained talent. And so the commentators know that. The
that
interviewers know that.
that didn't used to be the case back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Rock used to punk out Coach all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like I remember like
Todd
Lita and
Grisham
Trish and
called
them.
a FU from John Cena back in the day.
Yeah, Lita and Trish and them used to beat the shit out of Maria back in the day.
Facts. Well,
Like
Maria was trained.
yeah.
They
I
trained her
mean,
how to
we
wrestle.
didn't we didn't really see her do nothing until like the later years, but like but the thing was she was the one that always playing dumb. Like they had her like acting like she was clueless all the time.
Yeah.
She caught strays for no reason. That was me. These motherfuckers right here, they just blatantly talking crazy. Corey.
Right. Shit. Mackenzie, our winner.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, she had a display last week. If y'all
That's
seen it, y'all
wild.
ain't seen it, go watch it.
That's real crazy.
If you don't watch any bit of NXT, at least watch this to understand why we are justifying this selection here. Big
That's
hater
crazy,
energy.
man. That's real
Next
crazy.
up, let me go ahead and check real quick before I get to our next category. I gotta go see. I gotta go check my email because I asked for receipts. I asked for updates and receipts from when this package was delivered. And it's looking like it's right on time. Because our worst father of the year, 2022, it has arrived to the home of one Mr. Raymond Mysterio Jr. Congratulations, sir. I don't have to elaborate any more than we already have throughout this year. Go check
Nope.
our archives if you want to know
Nope.
why.
Nope. I can confirm as an employee of the United Parcel Service, uh, I went into the records this week to confirm that that rush delivery was right on schedule to make it to time. As soon as we announced the date for our year-end awards, we put the order in to rush delivery,
Yes.
and I've been following it every step of the way to make sure it gets there right on time. And as we see, of course, it has been.
Yes, sir.
This was unanimous. There was no voting process needed. There was no other selections that even comes close. This man has been exceptional at being unexceptional at his fatherly duties.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Well deserved. And now the ghost of Christmas cross is collecting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So good luck with that, sir.
Have
Maybe,
fun.
maybe we'll see you on this list again, and you'll go for a third and final, hopefully, worst father of the year. This is
Man.
second one, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it is. It really
Two
is.
awards. Not good.
That's a damn shame. The second time unanimous, too, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes. Indeed. Indubitably.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's
That
happened.
is god awful.
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, Thanksgiving wrapped it up for you, fam.
Whew, if it wasn't already.
Yeah. Next up, this is one of my personal favorites because this is the only award that we give out almost on a weekly basis. And it's
Mm.
now arrived. Who is our MVP, our most valuable peasant?
I'm packing the air, this gas what?
These peasants, you peasants.
Who is it? I wonder.
Who?
Our nominees. Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
This is our first time we've had somebody nominated twice here.
Oh, yes.
Misdemeanor offenses against wrestling booking all year long. You started out the year on some bullshit, literally, a couple hours before the year even began. Hopped on Twitter, said that shit about Big Swole. We already touched on that. A few months
Disgraceful.
later, you went crazy and you tried to say that Billy Corgan owed you some sort of, I don't know, credit of something
Yeah.
of some sort
Yeah,
because you paid a
validation.
lot of money and you offered him wrestlers for his all women's pay per view, and you won more credit than than you deserved for that. And then additionally, you talked about the all out thing. You let CM Punk sit right next to you, trash your executives, be
God.
very unprofessional, stuff his face with muffins while he's
Mm.
just sweaty and bloody and cursing and going off the record and telling
This
personal business to all
this
these
man
people
went
on
this man
YouTube.
was that man went so many levels above insubordination, it's not even funny. Like in a
And you
public
sat
space
there and you
on
drank
camera.
your sparkling water. Was that Perrier you were drinking? I love Perrier.
Probably.
I love Perrier. It's actually really good. Nice and
Mm-mm.
smooth and crisp. Anyway, I digress. So you've showcased a lot of peasantry this year.
Mm.
However, I don't think you've showcased enough. Because you, sir, are not the winner.
No.
Surprisingly,
No.
who is our peasant of the year?
Who?
Who? Who?
Who?
Who?
Who?
Hashtag you niggas bring that ass here, boy.
Bring that ass here, boy.
You already know.
Mm.
This is like in the BT Awards back in the day.
Yeah.
And Nicki Minaj won Best Female Rapper every year in the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
Because who else were they going to give it to?
Same run.
There was nobody else to give it to.
Yeah.
And this is very similar to that.
Back
Because some weeks we try to come up with a peasant of the week here, and it's just too easy. to give it to you niggas. I think you have been the most peasants all year. So just by default, you got to be most valuable peasant.
Easily.
Got to give it to y'all, man. Y'all locked it up with the Mandy Rose thing last week.
Oh, man. Oof. Mm-mm.
Y'all locked it up with that.
I don't know how to act. There's no critical thinking. There's no critical thinking.
Never.
And that's what makes this so easy.
And you know, it's fine if there's no critical thinking. I mean, we all can't be critical thinkers. It's just the problem is you guys publicize
it. Yeah. Like,
and you shout it out from a soapbox.
Right.
For some reason, y'all got 10,000 plus followers by being stupid.
The amount of times that gotta come on here and even just address you niggas. Might as well just make it official.
Look, man, y'all got 5 times next year. We're gonna start instituting a maximum limit for next year.
Damn.
5. And once you hit 5, you can't get it no more. Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm out to tally it.
It's I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. But come on, man. And this has been the thing. Like, the internet is. I don't know if y'all know about the internet. Things you put on the internet are pretty much there forever.
Hell
somebody's gonna untrace something at some point. It's very easy to. So a lot of folks will post on these wrestling forums back in the day in like the 90s during the Attitude Era, during the Monday Night Wars. And y'all were exactly the same during the Monday Night Wars. Nothing has changed, but the platform we are to post on. It's no longer. I'm going to sound very old when I say this. It's no longer Angel Fire forums. It went from Angel Fire forums to MySpace to Facebook. Now it's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
You ain't have to do that, bro.
Nothing changed but the platform.
Yeah. So, in short, your bad takes will be immortalized
forever.
That's just how it goes. Like, nobody's safe.
For the record, excuse me. Oh, I hit my desk. Excuse me. For the record, 1999 or so, 1990, early like 1999. I seen a post, a screenshot from one of these Angel Fire forums, and it was somebody saying they're pushing The Rock too much. He can't wrestle. All he can do is talk. They need to push Dean Malenko more. So you guys say shit like that now, and it's not going to age well.
Yeah. Just think about.
Don't you get tired of this shit?
Yeah, just think about the repercussions of your actions. I mean, like, this is an award show. I'll make a simple analogy, right? About 7 years ago, Oscars was supposed to be hosted by Kevin Hart. You might recall that Kevin Hart did not host the Oscars that year because he had a take on Twitter. That take did not sit up well with people who decided to unearth it from several years prior. And it came off as homophobic to people. And at the end of the day, you know, age we're living in, you got to answer for everything you tweet. So because of that backlash, and because he didn't apologize for it, because it's like, listen, it was taken out of context the wrong type of way at the end of the day, you know. But yeah, repercussions. This is what happens. He didn't host the Oscars because he tweeted like 4 years before it about something that regarded him and his son. So yeah,
right.
Y'all got to be careful.
Yeah, and that's just like, I mean, that's for anything. But
yeah,
wrestling takes, let's not be dumb.
Yeah, it's like we all love this shit, but it's wrestling, bro.
Like, TV show. That's what I say all the time. It's a TV show.
Yeah, the way y'all be talking about this sometimes disturbs my spirit. I ain't gonna hold you.
Chipotle's my life. Looking asses. Let's do better. Next up, this might be a little unanimous, I believe, but our favorite wrestling moment of the year. Who are the nominees? We had a guy, probably the biggest name in wrestling history, hadn't wrestled in 19 years, came out of retirement on a whim in front of 50,000 people at Cowboy Stadium at WrestleMania. Stone Cold Steve Austin, what? I said Stone Cold Steve Austin, main event at WrestleMania again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hadn't main evented WrestleMania since 2001. He main evented and tore the house down. Didn't look like he wrestled since 19 years prior.
Right.
Looked really
Let me find out he got a little ring on his ranch and just been doing some bumps weekly with some people. Just putting on some mock matches.
God damn, you hit me with that Claymore. Next up, we had Brock Lesnar. There's a picture of Brock Lesnar standing toe to toe with the highest grossing artist in North American concert touring history, Bad Bunny. I seen that stat earlier.
Yep.
It looked like it was real. It looked like it came from a legit source. I didn't verify it, but it's Bad Bunny. Who needs to verify it when it comes to Bad Bunny? I believe anything. Brock Lesnar F5 Bad Bunny at the Royal Rumble. Great moment. Next up, we had a match that I said was going to be a sleeper prior to it happening. And it was way more than a sleeper. It was probably top 5 matches on the entire weekend. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Jackass Mania.
Yeah.
Fun times. It was all it was missing was Steve-O.
Right. Yeah, they got me. They got me. This was it.
We had Wee Man hit a Hurricane Rana.
Wee Man did the Terry better than Terry.
Yes.
Like, goddamn.
Let's get it. Next, CM Punk's rant following All Out. We just talked about it. It was a moment. It wasn't a good moment, but it was a moment nonetheless. I logged on the internet at the perfect time, too.
I tell you.
I logged on right as it was happening. It was great. Kevin Owens. Shout out to Kevin Owens.
I tell you.
Because Kevin Owens posted a picture from that moment of him facing Stone Cold Steve Austin in the middle of CM Punk's rant. Like, look, I told y'all niggas I wasn't going here. Y'all see why.
Yeah, man. Like, it's crazy, too, because it's like, it's one of the things where we all know how AEW pay-per-views, all of them go too long as it is. Right. So it's like, why would I sit up here and watch a press conference after about 4 hours of this show that's already too long? But like any train wreck, you don't want to really dig into it and look, but sometimes you can't help but peek.
Facts.
And I just found myself peeking, and all the wheels just fell off of it right away. And I'm glad I saw it.
It was entertaining. If one thing, CM Punk is going to entertain, as we said.
Yes, sir.
Did just that. Next up, this is probably my favorite moment of the year. I don't know if it's going to win, but this is like 7-8 years in the making for me. Seeing Randy Orton with Migos before Migos broke up, before Takeoff was taken from us.
Yeah,
in this moment in Atlanta on New Year's Day at day one. Can't get no better than that.
No, sir.
Elsewhere, we've been waiting for this one for a while too, because we didn't know how they were going to go about doing it. And I'm glad they went the way they went about it, because it was only appropriate that you give Undertaker a microphone for his Hall of Fame speech and just let him talk.
Yep.
Undertaker's Hall of Fame speech, classic. I watched it back a couple times.
This man couldn't even talk for, what was it, like 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Because the people just was going.
Taker.
And they was letting him go. He was letting them go like, hey, man. Because he had to collect himself for a minute. Like, ooh.
And he had the clean suit on.
Oh, man. Talk to him.
Had the
Killing them
braided
out here.
ponytail, boy.
Yeah, man. And they was just dropping nuggets.
Facts.
Like that turned into a sermon. I didn't even expect that.
It was
My
preaching.
man was out here preaching and teaching.
Because he didn't have a mic, he had a headset.
Yeah.
He said, "Give me that headpiece." He was walking around like a pastor too. He said,
Right. Like,
"Shout out
listen,
to
you
Texas."
just go out there and just talk to the people. Do what you gotta do, man.
Facts. We also seen Brock Lesnar use a forklift
Oh my God.
and lift up the ring in the main event. I'll be so mad if I was sitting on that side that got lifted. Couldn't see
Yeah,
nothing.
man. I've never audibly laughed so much in disbelief at what I was seeing.
Right.
Like I did in that moment. I was like, I felt like how Michael Cole reacted. Like, like, yo, what the hell am I watching right now? This was how we knew that Triple H was officially in charge, because ain't no way you was gonna see this any other time. Like Vince has done some wild shit, but this was just different.
Yeah. First show too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right
And then speaking of Vince, our last nominee here, Vince McMahon retired from WWE. So, without further ado, our wrestling moment of the year. What we got, sir?
Well, now no shock here. Vince McMahon retiring from WWE.
There we go. This may age poorly depending on certain rumors that have gone down, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Upon further
probably
development,
won't have a bigger wrestling story than that ever, unless like The Rock comes back and beats Roman for the titles. That's probably the only bigger headline you can have.
Yeah. And if said rumors turn out to come to fruition, then we might have to rescind this award.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have a retroactive winner in that case, but I don't know. I don't think so. Hopefully not. We'll see. Now we have our wrestling moment of the year. What is our black wrestling moment of the year? Nominees: Jade Cargill and Naomi, aka Trinity Fatu, chilling in Atlanta at a Hawks game. Two black women, blackest city in America, at an NBA game. Can't get no blacker than that. Black women's champions too, by the way.
Indeed.
Champions in 2022. Also.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Black wrestlers jigging at Kurt Angle's birthday celebration. They did the black people, doing the butt. They did that shit.
Yeah, bumping to that Kurt Angle theme.
You didn't even know that was a theme you could bump to.
Right.
But one thing black people gonna do, we're gonna find a way.
Find a way to make a beat work.
Facts. And be in rhythm.
Yep.
Like other people struggle to catch the rhythm. Black people, we fold and mold the rhythm to our narrative. That's how we need it to be. Next up, this African brother in NXT was on TV with a kufi on his head and some kente cloth around his neck. Brother Idris and Nafi, he on the list. That was a black moment. I never thought I'd see somebody wearing kente cloth on WWE ever in my life.
Crazy.
Like I saw an old white guy wearing a do-rag once. But I ain't never seen nobody wearing kente cloth.
That's what I'm saying. We're living in different times.
Yeah. And then next up, our final nominee here, Trinity Fatu and Mercedes Vernado. Shoot names, brother. Flexing their options on Instagram. Can't get blacker than that. You say, oh, you don't want to treat me right? Look what I got over here. They got way more money over here. Look at all these movie premieres I'm at. You got to get invited to these. These exclusive. This exclusive Hollywood. Hey, look who I brought too. I brought some more of these other black wrestlers that don't need y'all either. And y'all like them. Y'all let them do anything they want. I'm bringing them with me. They got options too.
Indeed.
So without further ado, who we got in that little envelope? Our winner for Black Wrestling Moment of the Year.
Ooh, yeah. Sasha Banks and Naomi go on a world tour and say, fuck around and find out.
We on the world tour.
With the mic in our hand.
Yes. Thank you for finishing that.
Listen. You can't do no better than that. I mean, listen. CBD deals, New York City Fashion Week, magazine covers, movie deals,
red carpets.
Like, bruh. If there has not been a better example of till you do right by me, I haven't seen it yet. They real ones for this. Like, black people talk all the time about I don't need this job. Sasha and Naomi proved it and gave the receipts for it.
Facts.
So, as I said on the previous episode of Young Kings Wrestling, whatever number she is asking for, you pay that. If you want to keep a star in your company. If you don't, that's fine. She gonna be fine. I'm just saying. If it's a matter of contract negotiation with money, pay her. Because obviously y'all don't have no problem bringing in everybody else.
Nah. Absolutely not. Now, we got those, little custom awards out the way. We're going to get in a little more wrestling-centric awards of the evening, starting with our Breakout Performer of the Year. And look, man, this is pretty difficult. But it might not be too difficult for y'all. Let's get into it. First nominee from the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa.
Yes.
If you out here in Vegas, you know him as Sefa Fatu. The youngest brother of Rikishi. I said the youngest brother of the Usos, the youngest son of Rikishi. Yep. Hall of Famer. So we're going to see. This is our first nomination for a Bloodline member tonight. Bloodline is nominated in 4 categories, I believe. Maybe 5.
Oh, yeah. No question.
I don't feel like counting right now, so disregard that. But Solo Sikoa, he ran through NXT in 2022 so much that he had to come and say, I'm about to go with my fam. I'm about to go help my fam out over there in Wales. They said, where you going, Solo? We got class at the Performance Center at 4:30, so I got a flight to catch to Wales. I said, Wales? Well, you're not booked on that show. I know, Oos. You'll see. Showed up, helped out Roman with his match versus Drew McIntyre, and right after that, won the North American Championship. However, it was an unofficial match, and he had to vacate it. They still let him claim it, so it's on his resume.
Oh yeah, it's a matter of record.
Yeah. Joined the Bloodline, increased his stock tenfold. He is main eventing pay-per-views and big matches every week on Raw and SmackDown. And as a fan of the Las Vegas wrestling scene, I used to pray for times like this. I love seeing our people out here prosper. Next up, Liv Morgan. This woman won the Money in the Bank and cashed in on Ronda Rousey in the same night to become SmackDown Women's Champion. I saw it in person. Multiple wins over Ronda Rousey. Become a hardcore legend right in front of our eyes. Shout out to Liv.
Facts.
Next up, Chad Gable. This guy probably could have won Breakout last year, but listen, man, you look at a guy like Chad Gable, he is in the best position anybody could be in the WWE. This is the Miz has held this position. Our Mr. Keep a Check, Jeff Jarrett. Fuck a fair one. He get his the fast way, the ski mask way. He's won. He's been in this position before in WWE. And that is that mid-card comedy heel that you need to just do things. He's a utility player.
He's natural.
It's the best position, the absolute best position you could be in the WWE. You're always on TV every week. You got to take, little goofy bumps. People love you. People love to hate you. You get to work with celebrities all the time. You get to work with legends all the time. Look at Heath
It's a
Slater.
fact.
Chavo
And
Guerrero did this before. He got knocked out by Snoop Dogg once.
right, and even better, he's gonna have a good amount of time to do it because Truth is out with an injury. So
Yeah,
that slot that you usually put him in, gotta give it to Chad.
facts. Next nominee, Austin Theory, Mr. Money in the Bank. He's a two-time U.S. champion in 2022. Was he U.S. champion this year or last year?
Um, he just won that
Googleable.
Survivor Series. He just won that Survivor Series, and I think they were both from this year.
It's Googleable. Either or, this man had at least he had a pretty good, first 7-8 months before Vince left, and he kind of, I don't want to say he fell off, but he definitely slowed down a little bit, but closed out the year strong. Would love to see if he can come in and claim Mr. Breakout of the Year. So one moment while I get this little stat here.
Yeah, I know his current ring was from
November.
Yeah,
won it in April. So
okay, yeah. So that makes sense.
Two-time U.S. champion this year. Shout out to him. Next up, Roxanne Perez, current NXT Women's Champion. One of the best rookie years possibly ever. Breakout tournament winner. First ever Iron Survivor in NXT. Won the NXT Tag Team Championship as per her Breakout tournament win, and won the Women's Championship as per her Iron Survivor win.
Yeah, man.
Great
Going
year.
to work. Going to work.
Next nominee, Logan Paul. I know what y'all saying. What?
Oh, boy.
Logan Paul? Listen, it's our show. And you can't have a bigger breakout than the performances he had. He is not a wrestler. He is a YouTuber. He was on Vine. And he came in and he put on 3 near flawless performances in that ring. One of them for the World Championship. He main evented versus Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. Possible match of the year. It's a match of the year nominee.
I mean, I guess. We'll see.
And then our last nominee, this one, long time coming, and I thought it was appropriate to put her on the list, man. Jamie Hayter finally broke through and became AEW Women's World Champion this year at Full Gear.
Well deserved.
It's only a matter of where we go next after that. So the sky's the limit. But without further ado, our winner for Miss Breakout Tournament of the Year. What? Breakout of the Year. I might have just
well, this
might have just spoiled
it. You hit on it right there. It is Miss Roxanne Perez.
Shout out to Roxanne, aka Roxy, youngest. She's the youngest. She is the youngest NXT Women's Champion, I believe. I think Paige is a little bit older.
Yeah.
Youngest Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Which wasn't saying much at the time because she was the first. So shout out to Roxanne Perez. Might also be the youngest women's tag champion in NXT as well.
21 years old.
21. Younger than 9/11. Just turned 21 about a month ago.
Putting up these wild numbers, man. Wild numbers.
And the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
All right, we're looking at potentially the best babyface in women's history.
Could be.
Like she has that.
Might be the best rookie year ever.
Possibly.
Like
maybe behind Brock.
I'm about to say like Brock was wild, but just for context, Brock was 25. You know what I'm saying? And
this woman's 21.
And was like probably a massive prospect. You know what I'm saying? Roxy is 21, like you said, and she has
every championship or every accolade she had to win in NXT. She won it.
Yeah.
This year.
Right.
and not even it didn't take the full year either.
And I think she won War Games too, right?
Yeah, no.
Or was that last? That was last year.
Was she in War Games? That was Cora, no?
No, that's right. That was Cora. That was Cora. I thought she was in it, but nah.
I don't think she had debuted yet. It's Googleable.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we're gonna move on because our next one, our Tag Team of the Year award, and this was difficult, man, because I'm gonna read off on the nominees and I'm gonna read off the criteria because we got the Street Profits. I don't think the Street Profits held gold this year. It was actually a down year for their standards.
Yeah. Profits were down.
Took a lot more L's. Profits have been down everywhere, man. It's a recession, so it's understandable. But as long as they're a tag team, they will be on this list. And they also had the best tag match I've ever seen in person at Money in the Bank. So I had to put them on the list. Next up, the New Day, who will also be on this list until the end of time. Won the NXT Tag Team Championships to close out the year. Had some really good matches throughout 2022. Had some good hitters with the Usos earlier in the year. Had some more hitters with the Usos late in the year. Great match versus Pretty Deadly at Deadline a few weeks back. And they won the Triple Crown. Only the third team to be Triple Crown champions in WWE. And they're Hall of Famers.
Yeah, man.
Already.
Shout out to them.
Big shout.
I was real surprised when they won the title.
And Xavier Woods is all over the place too, man. He on Wheel of Fortune. He on G4. Shout out to that man.
It's a shame you got Booker T hating on him.
Man,
it's true. It's true. You don't meet your heroes, man.
Nah.
That man knighted him King of the Ring. What was it, last year when he won it?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he hating on him.
And they joined the 5-time club.
Right.
With his blessing.
Right.
Idols become rivals.
Ain't no good, man. Ain't no good.
Next up, the Briscoes, current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions this year. They also held the Impact Tag Team Championships, the GCW Tag Team Championships, and the House of Glory Tag Team Championships. These guys is playing belt collector for real.
Hell yeah. Doing it the right way.
Yeah. However, there's another team also playing belt collector in addition to them. FTR, our current IWGP Tag Team Champions out in New Japan. Our current AAA Tag Team Champions out in Mexico. And they just lost the Ring of Honor Tag Championships to the Briscoes a few weeks ago at Full Gear. But these guys going around winning every championship except the one of the company they're actually signed to. So let's see if that changes in 2023.
Yeah, it might as well.
Let's see. Next up, we got the Creed Brothers, NXT Tag Team Champions in 2022. Man. Pretty much ran the tag division. They've been slowed down due to an internal mole in the Diamond Mine. So we're going to see if they can bounce back in 2023, but still had a great year nonetheless. Next up, Pretty Deadly unified the NXT and NXT UK Tag Team Championships earlier this year. I think they had 2 NXT Tag Championships.
Yeah, they did.
So shout out to them. Just lost to New Day, but great matches, great workers. One of the best tag teams in NXT history already. And it only took like 2 years. Very, very under the radar too, by the way. So tag team of the year type stuff for real.
Yes,
and then
sir.
Our final nominee, y'all already know. They had to get nominated. Y'all haven't heard their name yet, but you knew they were on the list. They are the ones. Day ones, the Bloodline, the Usos, undisputed tag team champions as we speak. Longest reigning SmackDown tag team champions, longest reigning tag champions in WWE history. They might get the longest reign of the Raw tag champs too if they mess around.
500 plus days and counting.
500 plus days. So let's see. And I think I don't think we need a drum roll for this one.
No.
Because we're We're gonna build up the suspense and make y'all think somebody else won it, but y'all know who won it.
Let's just be
Who
real.
won it,
Let's be
man?
real. There's only ones, and that's the Usos.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man, their catalog is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
This year alone, ever since Jimmy came back healthy, joined his brother in the bloodline, got the tag team back together, they just hit another gear. They was already one of the best out, but this past calendar year just been different, man. Like they just like if there was any question about them being the top team, they answered it all because they done ran through every tag team that's out there right now.
Every
Like,
single one.
oh,
Both shows.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Oh,
Sometimes twice in a week. So it's
yeah.
like, how you not gonna give it to him, man?
Jay Uso working singles.
Yeah, man. Main event
Main event
Uso.
Uso doing his
Come
thing.
on, man. Come
Doing
on,
his
man.
thing.
They passed New Day.
Yeah.
Like, there ain't much else you can say at that point.
Yeah, let's get it. Next. Ah, yeah. We nearing the end, guys. Got three of them left. Got three of them left. So let's get it. Next up, our women's wrestler of the year. Our nominees for this one: Bianca Belair, the EST, the Raw Women's Champion, current Raw Women's Champion, won it at WrestleMania, has been defending it every month since. Wars against Becky Lynch, wars against Bayley, and now we got Alexa Bliss coming up, so we're gonna see how that work out. We didn't get to see the showdown versus Rhea Ripley yet, but
Might be coming.
it's coming soon. Next up, the man Becky Lynch brought back the man persona a few weeks ago, Survivor Series.
Yep.
However, that big time Bex, some of the best work she had done in her career was done in 2022.
Most definitely.
All the way till she got injured at SummerSlam. So about 8 months, came back and was still putting in work, still fire, still had the hot momentum. So shout out to Becky Lynch. Next up, Rhea Ripley. She was a little on the underwhelming side
Yeah.
earlier this year. But before joining up with Edge in the Judgment Day, and they kicked out Edge, and now her, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic. Why are they still calling him Dominic Mysterio? I don't know.
I don't know.
They've just been a force to be reckoned with, man. And Rhea Ripley doing some of the best work of her career so far. The de facto leader of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's pretty clear cut at this point. Like,
Great character work.
Finn is just a caricature. He's just a stand-in.
Yeah, at this point. This dude with the purple bandana gonna kill me. Next nominee, Mandy Rose, longest reigning NXT Women's Champion, had to be on the list. I mean, you can't not put her on the list, man.
Yeah,
she did some great work until recently she got let go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
can't take away what she did this year.
That other work kind of got shit twisted, but
Yeah.
she wasn't just on a resurgence. She was turning her whole career around. I mean, we was having whole different conversations about Mandy Rose that we were not having 3-4 years ago.
No, absolutely. Next up, we already talked about her. Breakout of the year nominee, Liv Morgan. Money in the Bank, Miss Money in the Bank, SmackDown Women's Champion. She did her thing. Yes, next up, I know we said on our last episode we didn't have any AEW folks on here. However, I would be remiss if I left this woman off, because regardless of how you feel, you can't knock somebody being a champion for over 11 months. And Jade Cargill has been the TBS champion since January, and shutting Instagram down on a daily basis.
Easily.
Had to put her on the list. Next up, Ronda Rousey, 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion in 2022. Y'all may not feel, we may not feel away, but like I said, we can't deny it. If you on top, you on top, regardless if we like it or not.
I guess. Shit.
Next nominee, Mickie James, Impact Knockouts champion, made an appearance in the Royal Rumble earlier this year, and been on a retirement tour in Impact. I haven't been keeping up, so I don't know if she's still on the tour or not.
Yeah.
So,
she is one of the best ever.
One of the best ever.
Very best.
Ever.
Yes.
Easily.
Yes.
Next up, Tasha Steelz, Impact Wrestling, finally reached the mountaintop, won the Knockouts Championship back in March. Some of her best work of her career. Been able to let loose over the last few years, doing some great work. So had to give her some recognition here. And then last but not least in our nominees, current Impact Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace, first ever Queen of the Mountain as well this year. So shout out to Jordynne Grace, and shout out to our winner, who is
no surprise here, the EST of WWE,
yes, sir,
Bianca Belair.
And that was Bianca Belair, if you did not hear that, because I had to play the sound bite before he said the name. So my apologies.
Girl.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, man. It got tough, but listen, you gotta just look across the year that we've had with Bianca. I mean, 2 banger matches against Becky, WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Then Bayley comes back. They have bangers across the board. Saudi match was crazy. Extreme Rules was wild. War Games. We haven't even got to Rumble yet, but depending on who she draws for that match, that could be fire. I mean, it's just been a banner year for Bianca, and like we said before, we might as well enjoy it while we can, because it ain't gonna last much longer.
Hey, Triple H, man, I'm gonna need that 12-month ring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it to hit a year. She need to be undefeated at WrestleMania. She can lose it at Backlash or something.
Yeah, man.
Give me a year.
Because take everything I said about Sasha and just multiply it.
Yeah. At this point. Which is crazy, because I didn't, I ain't gonna say I didn't see it. It was just, a few years ago. Y'all know how she was booked in NXT. She was a loser.
Yeah.
So I, had people trying to say she was better than Sasha, and I was like, hold on now, you got too much dip on your chip.
Right. Calm down.
However, time. All we had to do was give it time. See, all y'all had to do was say potentially, and we would have been good. Because potentially, I would have agreed. Y'all saying right now, and it wasn't the case.
It was not.
Shout out to Bianca.
Yes, sir.
Might be the best ever when it's all said and done.
Oh, yeah.
Give it the next 2-3 years. Let her keep setting these records and making history, being all these history-making moments and matches. You already know she main evented Mania. First black woman to win a main event at WrestleMania. It was her.
Hell yeah.
And she undefeated so far. Keep it going. Next up,
got it.
Had our women's wrestler of the year, but now our men's wrestler of the year nominees. Ooh, this is going to be a good one, because you can't deny some of these names right here, man. Of course, we got to have the tribal chief, the head of the table, the undisputed world champion, Roman Reigns. Is this the most A++ scores of the year? How could he not be men's wrestler of the year? Next up, we got Seth freaking Rollins. Won the United States Championship this year, broke that streak, that unlucky streak of not winning no gold. Great year. He did his thing. Next up, Sami Zayn, honorary Oos. Only won like maybe like 5, 6 matches on TV all year.
I think so.
However,
but I mean,
during those matches, he put in work.
Yeah, and
Best
at this
character
point,
work by far of anybody in wrestling this year.
that's what I'm saying. At this point, I don't think anybody's more over than him on the male side.
Nah. So deservedly on this list. Next up, the almighty Bobby Lashley won the WWE Championship this year. Seemed like it was so long ago.
Right.
Also, won the United States Championship at Money in the Bank. Defeated Austin Theory. Shout out to him. Great year.
Cook that boy.
Cooked him. He need that lick back versus Brock Lesnar too.
Oh yeah, it's coming. I think it's coming. Yeah.
Not as hot of a year as he had like versus 2021. But he's still on this list though. You already know. Next up, Drew McIntyre. Very quiet year for him compared to the last 2 years, but he left over lasagna, so he always good.
Always.
No championships, but he always good. John Moxley, 2-time AEW champion in 2022. I think 3-time ever. It was the most ever.
Yeah.
Something like that. So
yeah.
Put on some good matches this year. Y'all was calling him wrestler of the year all year long, so let's see. Next up, I claimed in episode 128 this guy was the best wrestler on the independents and possibly could be wrestler of the year in 2022. He was a belt collector all throughout the indies all year long, including the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Mr. Y'all, you know, we talk about on the last episode. Mr. Matt Cardona.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
Shout out to that boy.
Real quick story about that too. A friend of mine that's out here, his brother broke into wrestling and has been working some shows. In that time since the last episode, I saw that he worked as a ref in a match with Bully Ray and Mr. Matt Cardona.
Nice.
Where Bully actually set up the spot that him and Devon do with the dude laying down with the what's up.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a partner. So he turned to the ref like, yo, ref, get up there, do your thing. So my guy got to hit the dive on Matt Cardona. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So shout out to my guy. That was that's a moment, man. That's fun.
That's fire.
Yeah.
See, Matt Cardona is our wrestler of the year, as we tried to claim back in February. We're gonna see.
Tell you, man. Just wait and see.
Next up, he don't miss. North American champion Carmelo Hayes did his thing this year. He doesn't miss.
Never.
We're gonna see. He gonna bounce back and get right.
He get robbed, but he don't miss.
Yeah, facts. Next up, this guy won the NXT championship twice this year. Braun Breaker. I think he was our breakout winner last year.
Yeah, Baby Steiner.
I don't keep records, but it's all good. Shout out to Braun Breaker. Next up, our Intercontinental champion. He on this list, wrestler of the year. Gunther from Imperium, the Ring General.
Yes.
Did I do that right? Did I do that justice? Let's see.
We'll work on it. Ain't terrible.
Yeah, we could do better. We got it. And then our next and final nominee, Sheamus. He ain't mid. He ain't mid at best. No,
banger.
He put on
after
banger
after
banger
banger
after banger after
Come on.
banger.
Come on, son.
And I hate when wrestling fans describe matches as bangers.
Yeah,
because I hate it. Because like it was a thing, just like certain matches were justified being called bangers like before, but then wrestling fans just started calling everything a banger, and it just lost its value. And now y'all just say, "Oh, it's about to be a banger," and now y'all, it's kind of lame too, like because y'all kind of dorky. and it don't even sound cool when y'all say it no more.
Yeah.
Like black people used to call things bangers back in the 2000s.
That's true.
Like, yo, this shit is smash. This is a banger. We're talking about music.
I blame the salsa verse.
Yeah.
Just
all else fails, we just blame them by default.
Hell yeah. They be part of the problem.
Yeah. But without further ado, our winner of the 2022 Young Kings Wrestling Men's Wrestler of the Year goes to
Seth Rollins.
Wow.
Seth freaking Rollins.
We got an upset. We got an upset. Wow. Shout out to Seth Rollins. Because you know me, Roman Reigns, I give him a default A++ every big match that gets rated on this show.
Yeah, man.
Because he don't put on bad matches.
He doesn't.
And he unified the world championships at WrestleMania.
That's true. It is true.
700 days as champion, but
you gotta look. See, when the guy, the obvious choice, it's easy to look at what he does. You look at Seth, right? First of all, Seth did to Roman what Roman was doing to Jay a year ago. Seth was playing mind games with Roman so bad, he cracked. And the fact of the matter,
the first person to get Roman to crack for real.
He started off the year technically with a victory over the
Tribal Roman's Chief. Only L this year is to Seth
Rollins. Because Roman lost his cool.
Might have some justification here.
So I'm saying, like, because Roman lost his cool, he took an L to Seth. Right? Then you talk about the stuff with Cody. Listen, he put Cody over every single match. I expected it to split, with a tiebreaker. He was like, nah, I'm putting this dude over every single match straight, including the Hell in a Cell. And then the series with Riddle was banger after banger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, U.S. title, one of the best triple threat matches of the year. Seth has a catalog of triple threat matches that just kill shit all the time. So, listen, we acknowledge the Tribal Chief on this podcast at all times, but damn it, Seth Rollins quietly put on the performance of the year for male superstars. So he's the guy. He's the wrestler of the year.
I ain't mad at it. I can't be mad at it. I cannot be mad at it.
He earned it. Gotta give it to him.
I'm sorry, Roman. He did all that work this year, man.
Gotta stop ducking him.
Yeah, stop. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people ducking folks here because Roman is ducking Seth. You know what I'm saying? However, it's somebody that's ducking Roman.
Finally!
So, I'm just saying.
Ain't no more DC movies coming, so,
Yeah. He about killed that.
It sounds like
did you see that they said that they asked him to be in Shazam,
mm-hmm.
and he turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, Black Adam is Shazam's biggest rival.
Right.
and he just wanted to be Black Adam. He said, "Can't nobody else do this." He pulled a Terry in Hollywood.
I'll be damned.
Think he knows somebody. He already a Republican.
Instead of tell me he didn't learn something from Terrence back in the day.
Oh, he learned a lot.
Oh man.
Hey, no, listen, he grew up in the wrestling business, so you gotta understand somebody going carny and somebody going politic. It's in their blood, no matter who it is. No matter who. Man. It is what it is.
I ain't gonna trip.
Nah, can't.
Rather Hollywood than wrestling.
Yeah.
Less complaints.
Yeah. Man. Because nobody really cared for real in Hollywood.
Nah.
As long as the money coming in.
Exactly.
people gonna see the movies regardless.
Right.
People gonna see the shows in WWE regardless too. But you know, we got a lot more vocal people on the internet. It's more of a niche.
The discourse, man.
So the voices are a little bit more amplified because the spaces is smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
It's
yeah.
like look at our backgrounds right now. This is a theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
If everybody in this theater were to start cheering like it's a wrestling show, it would sound very loud compared to you, what you got. If the same amount of people were able to cheer, it's gonna sound a little bit less amplified. We
That's
all about
true.
analogies on here.
Mm-hmm. Teach you something.
Yeah, absolutely. As we move in to our final category of the episode, we want to thank y'all for getting to this point. How many episodes has it been? Like 40 something, 50 possibly?
That's Googleable.
It is
But
Google.
it sounds right.
So we want to thank y'all for making it to this point as we get to our final category, our match of the year in 2022. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. I didn't watch much other wrestling this year. I couldn't tell you what a best match of the year was anywhere else besides WWE. So this is very WWE heavy. Y'all can walk out the theater now if you feel a way about it. However, where we at with it with the nominees, Mr. Fontaine, I'm gonna put on my British voice for this one because it's special. We're giving out a very special, prestigious award here.
Okay.
We have Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell inside a Hell in a Cell. Next match, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship in a last man standing match at SummerSlam. Santos Escobar versus Ricochet in a World Cup final on SmackDown. Sheamus versus Gunther. Big meaty men slapping meat at Clash at the Castle for the Intercontinental Championship. We have the Usos versus RK Bro. Haven't seen Randy Orton since this. For the Undisputed Tag Team Championships on SmackDown. Bianca Belair versus Bayley in a ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship at Extreme Rules. The Usos versus the New Day for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships and the longest reigning tag team champions of all time on SmackDown. The Street Profits versus the Usos for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships at Money in the Bank. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm getting flustered. Let me just start reading these normal. I couldn't get through it. Sorry. Couldn't get through
it. Everybody get it. It's all right.
Yeah, I was starting to, yeah. And it's crazy. I couldn't finish it out. I'm gonna finish it out because I'm not soft. I have three matches left, so we're gonna finish. Let me start that one up. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. We have the Bloodline Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jay Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn versus, I forgot who they face. Sheamus
versus Sheamus and
Butch, Ridge Holland, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. There we go. In the men's war games at Survivor Series, we have Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship at Crown Jewel, and our final nominee, Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss at Clash at the Castle. Clash at the Castle was the name of the show. Not Cash at the Castle. See, I got a beef with the British people. You see how easily I said Bianca Belair's name the right way in a British accent?
Mm-hmm.
Wade Barrett, it's not Bianca, it's Bianca.
Yeah. I don't know.
Bianca Belair. See how I said that easily?
Maybe that's just how they do, because I know Simon does that too.
Simon do it. All the other What Culture folks do it. Wade,
Yeah,
Wade Barrett been in America too long, fam.
yeah, yeah. He been a
You
regular
literally live in
resident.
LA, bro.
Like you been a resident, bro. Come on
Like
now.
you should be talking like Matt Riddle right now.
Oh boy.
Like you lived in LA that long. Like you got to talk like them. Like why you not talking like Marshawn Lynch? You been in Cali that long.
I don't know if he be talking like Marshawn.
Wade Barrett go home and hang up his British voice and just talk in the real voice he developed over
Oh
time.
man,
He just keep the British he keep the British voice for professional appearances.
that'd be hilarious though. I ain't gonna hold you.
He just go take the voice out. Enough of that. Shit. Tired of that shit. Goddamn. I'll see that shit back. I'll be back with it on Friday.
Right.
But without further ado, that was fun. Got little jokes for y'all. Uh who is our winner of match of the year?
One last time.
Drum roll. Our
And
winner of the
the winner is
2022 Young Kings Wrestling Match of the Year goes to
oh yes, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Hell in a Cell.
yeah. Shout out to the boy Cody Rhodes. Hey Reed, got a question for you.
Talk to me.
How many royal families does wrestling have?
More than one?
Yes, sir. This guy did it with a bruised titty.
Dog.
You seen it? It was purple and red and black and
Man.
blue and brown. All the colors.
You know how hard it is to create a hush over the crowd before the match starts?
Right.
Like,
And some of the stuff he was doing in the match, they had that boy drugged up insane.
dog.
They gave him the
When they,
NFL player stuff.
because when they said it was torn, I'm like, okay, so he gonna be all bandaged up and
Had
stuff
that
like
Ray
that.
Lewis.
That's what I'm thinking. Right? I was really thinking it was gonna be something like that. They showed all of this, like they was just going for complete shock value. And then,
Listen,
man, and kudos to Seth too, because
mhm.
going back to Superstar of the Year, this man put on a classic with a guy who had one arm to work with. Like that's another thing people got to take into consideration when it comes to Seth too, is his ability to put people over and make them look good when they're at a disadvantage. Like this man made up all the slack that was needed and made this one of the better Hell in a Cells that we've seen since they made it into a gimmick pay-per-view. Which hopefully that's over now if the rumors are true. But
Yeah.
man,
It's been confirmed by the
yeah,
man himself. So
yeah. So that's a way for it to go out. You know what I'm saying? It was about time we saw something like that.
yeah.
And Cody coming back to WWE in itself was a storyline and easily one of the best rivalries we've had of this year, capped off in the best way possible. Superstar of the year, plus Cody Rhodes, Hell in a
Mm-hmm.
Cell. What more can you ask for, man?
So that's Seth's second award tonight.
Oh yeah, he cleaning up.
2 awards. This is the second award to go to somebody who was in AEW this year as well. Y'all say we don't show recognition to AEW folks. They was nominated and they won some awards.
There you
In
go.
fact, they won the first award tonight.
That's true. Yeah.
So shout out to Cody and Seth and all the other winners. Shout out to Jeff Jarrett. Now, as we head into 2023, I didn't make this an award, but who's somebody that you can see breaking out and taking some of these awards next year?
Oh
Might be
man,
somebody that we ain't seen on TV yet.
that's true. That's true. I don't know, man. I got my eye on a couple people. Cora Jade, possibly Zoe Stark.
Oh yeah.
Got to keep an eye out for that. Solo's gonna rack up something in the coming year.
Mm-hmm.
He might be the breakout guy. He might be winning some gold, but that's worth watching. Obviously Cody, when he comes back healthy, you know what I'm saying. He makes it through the rest of the year with no injuries and does his thing.
Cody might have been my wrestler of the year if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man, gotta keep an eye out for them. Watch out, most specifically, not just the Creed brothers, but Julius Creed.
Mm-hmm.
We done been talking about him a whole lot on this show, and man, listen, if they ever decide to let this dude go solo, don't even make no other nominees. That's the breakout superstar of 2023 if they go that route.
Yeah. So, what we're gonna do here is first before we close out, I want to give my choices, but
let's
see here. So, my breakout of the year, I like the Julius Creed pick. Tag team of the year, I don't know if the Usos gonna be on there again, but they might. I think fatigue might set in a little bit here.
Probably.
If it hasn't already set in soon. But we letting the story ride out. So like I don't know where the fatigue coming from. Once the story is told, and if they're still, doing a thing afterwards, or I can understand, but we gotta let the story finish, right? Yep. So next up we got Roxanne Perez. That might be my women's wrestler of the year next year. Because if they gave her this rookie year and let her do all that, imagine what she could do next year.
Real talk.
Like, might be a little too early for a Rumble win, but I mean, there's always money in the bank if we still doing that.
There's a good Rumble showing wouldn't be bad either.
Nah, at least do the Rumble showing, because I can imagine we're getting some NXT folks back in the Rumble next year. So, Black Wrestling Moment of the Year, I don't know. I can't predict that. You can't predict moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who would have thought Vince was retiring?
Right.
Who would have thought Vince was wrestling?
Oh, God.
Let alone retiring. Player Hater of the Year, Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick, Caleb Braxton. Either one.
All repeat offenders.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I compared them to. They're going to be on the list every single year, regardless.
Yep. So,
yeah. So, thank y'all again. Our last episode of the year. Hope y'all had a good Christmas if y'all celebrated it.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, before I close out, if you're listening to this on the first day that it drops, first off, happy Kwanzaa. Y'all celebrate Kwanzaa.
Yes, sir.
Damn it. I'm drawing a blank because I should know this off the top of my head.
What's that?
The greeting for Kwanzaa.
I don't even know.
It escaped me, bro. It's Googleable though. So
Umar about to have our heads for this.
Yeah, man. Habari Ghani. God damn. It was right there. I knew it. Habari Ghani to my Kwanzaa celebrators. And also it has been, if you're listening to this on the first day, it drops December 26th, 2022. It's been 2 years since we lost Mr. Brody Lee, John Huber. So RIP to him. Shout out to his family. And hopefully the holidays get a little bit easier as time goes by. That's all I can say about that. It's been a rough time. Been a really rough time for a lot of folks. So sending my warm wishes and blessings to y'all on behalf of Young Kings Wrestling. But hey, one more time for 2022. One of the worst years ever. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but let's plug our socials for the last time.
It was. Y'all can find me at RickHavoc24 on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, go check out the Havoc Hour where I talk sports and entertainment on all streaming platforms where you find Young Kings Wrestling, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and the video versions, which is the most entertaining. It's up on YouTube. And also go check out the page, Instagram _ the Havoc Hour _ looking to do a big revamp in 2023. I know I slacked on y'all. That's my bad. I'm gonna come back stronger in 2023, and we're
We
gonna
got
get
some footage.
this thing right. Yeah. We're gonna put a little something up there just to refresh the page up a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna come back better in 2023 to rectify that a little bit.
As well as me, the thespian TC Fontaine. We're going hard next year. One of the worst things you can do in the new year, and so I don't recommend y'all do this here on New Year's in a few days. Do not make a vision board for 2023. It's just bad luck. Don't do it. Literally nothing on my vision board came to fruition this year. So I'm gonna make a vision board and put shit that I don't want to happen. We're gonna see how that's going.
I'm gonna be honest, I got one.
All right, bro. Man, best of luck.
It's just something that we do, you know.
Yeah, I tried to make that tradition last year. Yeah. Fool me once. But yeah, follow your boy if you feel so inclined to, tc.fontaine on Instagram, FOI photo 702. And if you're listening to this after the new year, it's more than likely different. So whatever it is, you can find it in the bio of tc.fontaine on Instagram. How about that?
Yeah.
And you can follow me elsewhere. Twitter, TC Fontaine. Follow Young Kings Wrestling everywhere at YK Wrestling, YKWrestling.com for the YouTube, for the Spotify, for the iTunes, for the Amazon, all that good stuff. You want to tell your Alexas to say, hey, Alexa, play Young Kings Wrestling. I had to do this quiet for my Alexa start playing our episodes.
Oh boy.
But
gotta be careful.
Yeah, so I had to be on the hush mode. But go check that out, man. And one more thing before we close out. I want to see this in 2023. Because we talk a lot about Mr. Dr. Umar Johnson. If you don't know, his name is not Umar Johnson. His name is like his name really isn't Umar. His last name is not Johnson.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, he has his he has his slave name, and then he has his African name, his Ifa Tunde name. So Ifa Tunde name is Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson. So we talk a lot about Dr. Umar on the show. You know, I want to see Dr. Umar have the biggest year of next year. Because we already see he beefing with Stephen A. Smith. I want to see him on ESPN. Okay. Because one time I was watching, I was like channel surfing the ESPN, and I thought I seen Dr. Umar on ESPN. Oh my God. I was like, why is Dr. Umar? It was Kendrick Perkins. So it was not. But I would like to see him on First Take debating Stephen A. Smith.
Oh man.
And if you got to put it on ESPN Plus behind the paywall, that way, you don't affect your advertisers, and you can let him go off the script a little bit more. I will pay for ESPN Plus for once.
I'll do it.
If y'all give me
I got ESPN Plus already. I'm just waiting. Make it happen.
Yeah, make that happen. And if I can't see him on ESPN, I want to see him in WWE.
Oh my Lord.
I want to see him be, if MVP ain't gonna be with Omos no more. No. Bobby Lashley and Dr.
I was about to say, because Lashley was fired last week. So there's an injustice that I think that he could step in and take care of for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that makes sense.
Great mediator.
Yeah.
He can come in, he can, with the blessing of Teddy Long, reinstitute the White Boy Challenge.
Oh my. With Lashley, bro?
With Dr. Umar.
Come on, son. Cut the check.
Dr. Umar's promos with the White Boy Challenge.
Oh, cut the check, Steph.
We need that. Can you imagine Dr. Umar backstage if like Sasha Banks was still around? You just go backstage and see Sasha Banks with Makazi.
Oh Lord!
First of all, he don't even know what to do with all that. She need an unapologetically African alpha male to handle that. He can't handle that. He don't even know what to do with that. Okay?
Oh man, that man sold costumes.
Hey man, let
Yeah.
Dr. Umar go to NXT.
Oh man, listen.
He might be he might have to throw all that Dr. Umar stuff out the window when he see Nikita.
Look how thick that is. Look how thick that is.
Listen.
Nah, but let's get that. Cut that check, Steph, and let's get that
For
Bobby
real,
Lashley, because Bobby Lashley was robbed of his pride and his dignity.
Yeah. They never like to see us win. Never like to see us win. Never. Never.
Never.
Go and get him. Go and get him.
All right, y'all. You don't want to leave, man. But we gone. Happy New Year.
We'll be
we
back.
see y'all 2023.
Yes, sir.
We gone.